adding some new subscribers to the happy bag. And bring up some florets. It's a beautiful day. Mm-hmm. Let's see. A little welcome note in the chat. Do. One sticky note there. Work. I'm out on the porch today. Hello, Amanda. How are you? Yay, it's working. Hooray. Do you have your cuppa? Sometimes, I'm so used to doing the Zooms where, yay, good. I'm doing very well. My dog hears me talking, so automatically assumes we're being invaded by aliens. They'll get over it. I'm out here on the porch because it's finally warm enough to be on the porch. We're at 650 degrees, I think. To check my thermometer. I don't have one out here. I'm doing pretty good, Amanda. I won't kid you, it's been a rough past week, but moving on, it is, like I said, it's 58 degrees, so all is right with the world. It is gorgeous. I don't know where you are, but I hope you're outside on this beautiful, beautiful spring day. I'm calling it spring. It's here. The snow's melting around the trees. The robins have shown up. It's gorgeous. I hope you're outside on your porch or wherever you may be. You're being outside. I decided to I was kind of forced to do the live today from the porch because I have a major art project going on in the art room, and it's a hot mess in there. I was out. You were out earlier in Liverpool. It's a little windy. Don't need sleevings and thoughts. It's got to be like 65 already in Syracuse. We were down there a lot this past week for family things, and I was shocked that you have no snow in Syracuse. That's all gone, and it was so beautifully warm. So warm. It's gorgeous. I tried to remember not to bring my sneakers because I'm still in, it's mud season here and we still have feet of snow on the ground. So I had to remember to bring a pair of sneakers for walking in because otherwise it was my, clodhoppers. But they had to be lovely. The parkway's got to be gorgeous today. Absolutely gorgeous. Lots of fun people watching to do. Hi, Joanne. Yes, it is a beautiful day. Thank you guys for joining me on Saturdays, because otherwise I'd just be talking to my computer. YouTube's a little difficult for me because I really like the Zoom where you get to talk right back to me and it's a conversation, but I haven't figured out how to do a Zoom live yet. I do have some good news for these Saturday lives, which I think we'll keep doing during the summer. I have a new desktop, thanks a lovely birthday present from my son. So the camera will be much better, and we'll see how that goes being outside with not so much the laptop, but with my phone, and see how that goes. Hopefully we have enough subscribers now where the YouTube won't give us a problem for the lives. If you've seen the lives on Instagram or Facebook over the summer, you know that I do a lot of walking. with showing you the flowers and what's going on. And let's face it, that's always the best part. You know, a lot of times I think in the spring as gardeners, we get very excited and we're visiting all our favorite places. We're in our gardens. And then June, July, August come around and we kind of just rest from all the planting, right? But here at the farm, things slow down as far as the nursery goes because we've all gotten our plants in. But one of the things that makes me sad is that June, July, and August are some of the most beautiful flowers and plants and pollinators. It's like the best time to come here. So I'm trying to think of things that we could do together here at the farm that would be interesting to you. So if you have any ideas, send them to my email, info@lazydirtflowerfarm.com, or put them in the comments because I always feel like everyone's missing out here in the summer on all the beautiful pollinator action. It's just amazing what's going on. So I can't wait. The snowbanks are under snow, still probably about another 2-3 feet to be melted. But I'm already seeing, like out in the front display garden that's along the road, I'm already seeing the clumps of like the Rudbeckia trilobas, where before there was nothing out there at all above the snow because the snow got so deep here. So it's a little exciting. It's a little exciting. So we'll see. Today, what I'm doing out on the porch, since this morning's impromptu live on my way for the walk, I've done my hair. I've had my tea. Since this morning, I've been out here doing wool pots for seed sowing. And the next one, I've done a bunch of I've done a bunch of wild bergamot. The next one up is the last of my yarrow seeds. These are wild harvested seeds from right here on our farm. They're just a little patch because I wanted to leave the rest alone. And I am using the wool pots to sow them in. So I'm going to show you how I'm doing that real quick before we do the raffle, because I've gotten lots of questions about the wool pots. Oh, yes. Good afternoon, Lindsay. How are you? I am out here on the porch enjoying the beautiful weather, making up some wool pots. And this is my compost. I get a lot of questions about what I use. So right now I can't get into my barn because of the ice. It's got the door locked. I got out there the other day, but I cannot get to my compost pile. So this is actually a DIY mix I make peat-free using a mix of coco loco, because it's a living soil. It's a living soil. I add a little bit of vermicompost, which is worm poo. I also add sometimes a little bit of rabbit poo, dried rabbit poo from my good friend who has rabbits. And then I just sift it. I sift it all together for my seed sowing because it's very different. Let's see. Hi, Joanne. Your first crocuses are up. Oh, how lovely. Oh, we have nothing up because the snow is just starting to leave. So here's my very full wool pot, and I could probably put in a little bit more in there. So what I do before I sow seeds is I moisten the soil. As you can see, she's dripping wet. So I moisten the soil. That way the seeds, when I put them in, don't get pushed down deep, because you only want to cover them as thick as the width of the seed. And if you've ever tried to sow seeds and didn't have them come up, that's usually the culprit for germination, for good germination. So only the width, no matter how tiny, of the seed. So these are going to be yarrow seeds. And I have a cookie sheet here because that's what I put my wool pots in, because I don't use plastic anymore. So I'm just going to take a very, very tiny pinch, and I'm going to sow them, just sprinkle them. Yes, there's chaff in there. I leave the chaff. I'm just going to sprinkle them in there. All happy. See that? Tap, tap, tap. And maybe, now you saw how tiny these are, right? So just a tiny, tiny bit of that. And then I'm going to put it on the cookie sheet. And now yarrow does not need cold stratification. Otherwise that jar would have, it is, I'm so glad you're enjoying this beautiful day, Lindsay. The yarrow is one of the native plants that do not need cold stratification. So you can sow it just like a zinnia or calendula. Those are coming up. And but this is a perennial, so I'm using the wool pot. Now the wool pots I put on a cookie sheet. It's an old beat up cookie sheet. You water from the bottom for your seedlings. And here's the trick. A lot of times they just say, oh, water, missed it. Use warmer water. Unless it's, a plant that like so say a zinnia or say a yarrow, it's going to germinate. It's going to want warm temperatures to germinate. So why would we put cold water on our seedlings? Warm water. That's the trick to really good germination. I don't care what anybody tells you. I'm going to put this over here because you're not here to watch me do another 4 trays of wool pots. I have them. If you have not tried these yet, these this year have been a game changer. You see my basil. I grew basil for the kitchen. It's gorgeous. A lot of the perennials I'm sowing for the farm are going to be in these this year. The ones I dig out of the field that I planted last year, it's like a baby cycle, 9 months. It takes like a year to get plants growing. So I start in the spring, I start sowing them. Then in June, July, they go out into the field. They overwinter there and they grow strong roots. And then in the spring, the plan is, this will be our first spring doing this, I'll pull them up, wrap them up in burlap, and they'll come home and finish growing at your house. Woohoo! For the win, yay! So I want to tell you quick before I have my little cheat sheet that on the website I have added, so excited, spring ephemerals. I planted some spring ephemerals 2 years ago. They're finally ready to go home, some of them. They are Virginia bluebells and Dutchman's breeches. Now, both of those have been very hard for me to grow from seed. There's been, yay, I know, I'm so excited about these spring ephemerals. I don't have a lot of them, but they have been, let's just say there's probably been 1 or 2 root beers drank in the learning of how to grow these from seeds or getting them, like with the Virginia bluebells, those were from a friend of mine. And I took a small patch and have been slowly growing those out. It's been, the learning curve is huge on these seeds, baby. Let me tell you, it's a big learning curve. But I'm really, really fortunate here in Central New York that we have so many native plant, shall we say, gurus that I can call and ask questions. So those spring ephemerals are now in the shop. They are Dutchman's breeches, which is actually does look like white little breeches with a little yellow bow tie. It's very exciting. And then the other one is, of course, the one that I just fell in love with and said, oh, I have to learn how to grow these, is Virginia bluebells. Now, Virginia bluebells take a while to grow and spread. So I highly recommend getting 5 of them for a patch. You can grow them in a pot. I have had them growing in pots. They seem to do very well. But you have to make sure, because they're just like daffodils. They're spring ephemeral. They're going to grow early in the spring and they're going to die back. So I always recommend, so both of those are woodland. They will emerge before the trees leaf out, and then they'll go dormant once the trees leaf out and cover. So they'll get partial sun. But the one thing nice to do is kind of interplant them with summer and fall blooming native perennials. So you could put your, say, the Virginia bluebells, you could mix those in with a planting of, say, common boneset. It likes partial shade. It likes the same kind of soil that Virginia bluebells do, around the tree line. And then you have like a succession. You could even put some asters in there or some coneflowers, mix them in so that you have 4 seasons of food and shelter for pollinators. And then in the spring, they'll be back again and they'll be like, woohoo, you're back. Hooray, we made it. So that was the one thing. And then speaking of summer, if you've not been on the website, you don't know this, but if you have, you know this. Woohoo! There are new summer blooming and fall blooming perennials on the website. There's aromatic aster. See, the thing is, I finally had to get the count. I had to look at all my charts and go, okay, what do I have? What out of the field can I take out of the field? Because we don't want a bare field, right? So you're looking at a woman who planted over 150 purple coneflowers last October. That doesn't include the 100 that I put in November, for example. So Rattlesnake Master. I grew Rattlesnake Master 2 years ago and finally got to the point where I could put it out into the field. So over 134 Rattlesnake Masters went out in the field. So I know that I can take probably about 30 of those. I think I put 30 on the inventory that I can share without disturbing the balance of what do the pollinators here need, what do wildlife here need, and what can I share with you. So that's how I make that decision, and what I can take out of the field. And that's why on March 1st, everything wasn't on the website like a lot of other people would do. It's only by what's available. And then I also have to do losses because I have deer and bunnies just like you do. And so I take about 25, I estimate 25% will be eaten and feed wildlife because that's what they're for, right? So anyway, there's aromatic asters on there. There's Rattlesnake Master. There's Sweet Joe Pieweed has been added. And there are probably about 7 more that I have to do this week. So be watching. And if you have a plant list of things you're looking for, send them to me at info@lazydirtflowerfarm.com. And I will let you know if I will be having those this year. The big one I'm getting is, will you have butterfly weed again? My milkweed learning curve is huge. And milkweed does not like to have its roots disturbed. So usually by June, late May, June, I'll have butterfly milkweed. So it's like a staggered, we kind of got to go how Mother Nature wants us to go. So they're not usually available in the early spring, like in April, May. We have to wait until June to make sure that those seedlings are young, healthy, strong plants to go home without disturbing the roots too much. So those will be on in May. And there's a bunch of other plants coming on. So stay tuned to the newsletter, friends. Speaking of the newsletter, before I tell you that, how am I going to mark those seeds? I'm sure you're wondering. I just did that wool pot. I just realized. Hold on for 1 second. These are live as they happen. So this is yarrow. And today's date is 3/15/25. And I'm going to give it the code name that yarrow has is Y173. All my plants, because I'm a nursery, have to have a code name. And then it is these. I use these. These are wonderful. You could use popsicle sticks. You can use tongue depressors. If you go and you buy plant tags, so say you go on Google and you're looking for non-plastic plant tags, you do not have to spend the extra money on some fancy wooden tag. Get a popsicle stick. Look for tongue depressors. You can get a box of 500 or 1,000 tongue depressors for like $12. These little doodads I got at a farm store, big box of 250. And these, because they're small, only are used for seedlings. So we're going to take this lovely little yarrow and we're going to stick that right in there because I will forget who he is. You've seen me do it. It's a scary thing when you have 500, what was it? Great blue lobelias mixed with purple coneflowers. It was a rough go there, wasn't it? But we had a good time swapping out plants, didn't we? It was a lot of fun giving everybody free plants. Anyway, speaking of free, Here's the Lazy Dirt gangbang. I'm gonna give it a good stir. Are you girls ready? Big stir. Shake it up a little bit more. Surprised my dog isn't going crazy. Okay, giving it a big stir. Now, are you wondering what the raffle is? I know. Yes. Are you ready? Okay. Oh, now last week in the newsletter, I said that I was going to give a Wool Pots basket away, right? Well, today, because the weather is so fabulous, I have decided just this morning, yes, wool pots are a wonderful thing. They're a great thing. And the basket I have made for you is extraordinary. However, we need flowers. I mean, there's still 3 feet of snow on the ground, and we need some flowers. So I'm going to give away something I've never given away before. I'm going to give away. Are you ready? Roll. I'm going to give away a 4-week Cottage Bouquet subscription. I know. It's like a couple $100 value, but it's really about the flowers. Can I just say? I love making cottage bouquets for you. It is one of the highlights of my week. Now, we are a flower farm. However, I do not cut flowers like other flower farms because we're growing for pollinators, right? So I only cut flowers to order. That's why I offer the cottage bouquet so that folks can pre-order and then pick them up. They're cut to your order. You can even tell me, hey, Melanie, can I get just blue and white flowers? And your bouquet will be blue and white flowers. So those will start. Usually those start in June. And I do some spring orders that people will call and they'll say, hey, can I get a cottage bouquet with spring flowers? And that will have things like pussy willows, maybe some daffodils is my favorite rebel spring flower. It'll have golden Alexander in there. It'll just be gorgeous. It'll have 9 bark, beautiful spring, ethereal, just beautiful bouquets is what they are. So I know. Isn't that an awesome raffle gift? And you can share it with friends. So this 4-week bouquet or even the cottage bouquets, you can share this with a friend. You can say, okay, Melanie, every week I want to give one of the bouquets to this person. Can you have them ready and they'll come pick them up? I do delivery of the cottage bouquets. That's on the website, lazydirtflowerfarm.com. Just go to shop. And you'll see it. It's on the very top bar there with the pollinator garden collections. So I'm Italian. I should tell you about the cottage bouquets too. I'm Italian, so there's only go big or go home on the bouquets. These are not little, something small and pathetic you'd find in the grocery store. These are full, voluptuous gorgeousness. And yes, you're going to play with your flowers. You're going to cut them every day, rearrange them. Oh, yes, rearrange your flowers when you get fresh flowers. Have some fun with them every day. Cut them when you get your morning cup of tea, when you have your tea steeping or your coffee. Take a minute and just snip those flowers fresh with a fresh water every day. They will last forever. Well, not forever, because they're not meant to. But they will last like a week or more. And then you just come and get more flowers. Okay, here we go. I really can't wait till Gabby can come and draw this. Not looking, digging deep. Pulling one name out. There we go. Put the bag over there. Do this live. Susan Vaughn, you won the bouquet. Let's give away one bouquet. Let's give away one more. So Susan, you won. I will call you. Your number is on here. You must have joined from the farmer's market. We're going to draw one more because why not? I'll just make double the bouquets for the week. Are you ready? Yeah, I know. Isn't it great? Susan, if you don't know Susan, she's a local here in Mexico. She's just absolutely lovely. So we'll see who gets one more. Oh, we lost a lot of ice off this roof this week, and it makes me jump still. This is Nicole. Nicole, I'm not going to say your last name, but I will say it ends with an L. I know, isn't that great? So Nicole won one bouquet. So we'll do, I'm going to write this on her slip here. Let me write this down before I forget. So that's Nicole. Nicole, one bouquet. And Susan. So next week. I know, isn't that awesome? It's so much fun. I think sometimes it's fun just to see who wins. And I can't wait. Maybe for opening weekend, we should do a live drawing from people who are here that day. Yeah, isn't that awesome? I love giving away things, and so I think we'll do that. I think opening weekend, which looks like it might be the first week of May. It depends on the snow. Depends on the snow. We'll do a couple raffles that day too. See, I need bifocals already. Isn't it terrible? We'll do a couple live raffles when we have opening weekend. Now, opening weekend, I'm still not sure of the day. I'm watching the weather, and we'll see what April brings, right? But we will have the pre-order pickup will be a whole separate day on probably a weekday, and then opening weekend the following weekend. Super excited about opening weekend because that means plants go home and you get to play in your garden, and we definitely should do a raffle, don't you think? We should definitely do a raffle. What's everyone doing today? Yes, I think so. I think we need to do a live raffle. I think we need to have a party. I've already, I'm supposed to be contacting, we get sidelined by a woodpecker over there. I'm going to be contacting Bread of Life Bakery and the Embellish Catering folks to do our catering for our opening weekend again, because they were wonderful. I hope, as we go on to 27 minutes, it was only supposed to be 15 because of my chin wag. I hope that you all get outside and you have a wonderful day today, a wonderful weekend. There's this vicious rumor about a polar vortex coming in April. We're going to laugh that off, and we're going to sow seeds. Oh, you're planting your sweet peas. Oh, lovely. More winter sowing, Joanne? Oh, how fabulous. You'll have to send me a pic or tag me in a pic. I love to see people sowing seeds. Lindsay, what do you got today? You're going through your native garden to see where you're at. Nice. Look for those gaps, Lindsay. Think about, like, in June, where were the gaps in your flowers and plants? That's my best advice for going through that. That's free advice. I shouldn't have just, assumed you needed to know that. Anyway, I hope you have fun planning your native garden for this year. It's a wonderful thing to do, to kind of think about what else would you like to do out there for pollinators? And, like, do you need a new bench because you put in a hedge of rudbeckia? I'm building a bench next month as soon as I can get wood into the barn for out front, because we all need a place to sit and take a time out, right? Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful, magical early spring day, because it's here. You can ignore the calendar. It's just a calendar date. Mother Nature says it's here. Oh, nice. Monday here. Oh, well, I will have to email you and find out about that bylaw. Have a great day, Joanne. I'm going to sign off, friends. And again, if you have any questions about native plants or gardening, go to my website, lazydirtflowerfarm.com. You can also shoot me an email at info@lazydirtflowerfarm.com. And I will get back to you within usually about 12 hours, because I'm doing a lot of videos and stuff for the wool pots. Next week, it's Wool Pot Basket Day. Join me then. And until then, see you later. Have a wonderful, wonderful spring day. Cheers to you. Let's see. Cheers.